Guys, I want you to know that the only thing that makes me me is the work I truly provide. And so I want you guys to understand that the work is truly about creating that individual and giving that individual to the world to feed yourself with the most auspicious of work and to allow your work ethic to propel you forward in life. And so we have to understand that the goals you have in life is a direct reflection of your worth. And so if you seek to attain higher ranks of existential criteria, well, you have to become the higher quality individual by upgrading your own. And so most of you guys don't understand what that means. But I want you guys to truly understand with the depth of your heart and the realest to the real, know what I mean. You guys have to see something more for yourself. If you're skitty, well, it's time to hit the fucking gym. You have to see that vision for yourself. If you're broke, you have to see yourself with that money. And so most of you guys lack the vision because you don't believe you're worth it. And the reason you don't believe you're worth the vision is because the things you do go to show why you don't. Every time you sit there and you lack the work, you don't show up to life, you don't guarantee your success, you lack the fundamental understanding that you only live once and the worth you have for your life is the way you'll behave. And so most of you guys are quick to go to the bar, most of you guys are quick to shame yourself in silence and to hide from your own shame instead of to confront it, instead of to embrace it and to allow you to up yourself, to use that shame as fuel instead of a source of self-destruction. Because we have to understand that the same source of self-destruction is the same source of success. And so if you seek success in life, well, it begins with understanding that it's the same fuel source, which is you. And so the most successful of people, the downfalls is what fuel them to the highest of levels. And so if you can understand what that means, you'll go to show what it means to be a failure through the way you behave, through the way you go through life, and through the way you navigate the maze. And so I want you guys to be amazed by your own beauty and to understand that the depth of your heart is which will reflect the quality of your reality. And so it's about living with more depth. But you can't become that individual if you're shutting yourself away. If you're living in a limited belief system, you have to understand you truly have no limit and you do have everything you need in the present moment. And until you awaken to that fact, you will forever be limited in the chaos of which you must exist in as punishment for the lack of attaining and becoming and growing and succeeding and being and becoming. And so I want you guys to truly understand that the best version of you truly understand and knows what it means to show up to life, to give it your all, to show up and to give the most auspicious version of you to the world, to show up and to give what it takes to be successful. And you have to understand that success is a byproduct of character. And so the higher quality you are as an individual, the more successful you'll become. And success doesn't begin with the money. You have to understand that success begins with the personal development. And so what do we talk about the most on this channel? Personal development, personal confrontation, to confront those lower aspects of self, to transmute that and to allow that to flourish you, to use your source of which would have destroyed you as a source of fuel to navigate reality, to allow yourself to be propelled to the highest of outcomes and to become that alchemist, to self-source and to become a self-sufficient organism by using yourself at the highest degree, by maxing out your capabilities, by doing what you know you must do. And the only thing that is going to require you to do that is the best version of you. The best version of you is required to do that. And so you have to show up at that 3 a.m. wake up, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. earliest. You guys can't be waking up whenever you want. It's about the discipline cultivated to wake up and to choose the personal development. You have to understand it's not about the habit itself. It's about the individual you become when you wake up at 3:30 a.m. and go to the gym at 4 a.m. a fucking 300 times for a year straight. The individual who is going to be spat out at that outcome is going to be so much better and so much more disciplined and so much more a concentration of higher essence, to be a higher version of yourself, to be the best version of yourself, the version of you that never miss, the version of you who's the best. And you have to understand what that means, to be fluorescent, to be the individual you seek to aspire, to become the inspiration, not to be inspired, but to become the inspiration. Because we have to understand that to be inspired and to be the inspiration are two different things. To aspire to be a higher individual and to do what it takes to take that action. And it's that fucking simple. I want you guys to truly understand what that means, and I want you guys to follow through on your goals. It's that fucking simple. Peace.